to close your eyes for a second and imagine a dessert in front of you. It's your favorite dessert, and you love eating it. Really, imagine it. The sweet, sweet taste that touches your tongue, and the tingling sensation as it slides down your throat. So moist and perfect, and you can't wait to have another bite. Can you taste it? Now I want you to imagine someone taking that same dessert and cramming it down your throat. Really, imagine them cramming it down your throat and controlling everything about the way you eat it. How you bite it, how fast you chew it, and even how much you swallow. You try to push that person away, but they pin you down and keep forcing it down your throat. You start to gag and you begin to choke. Your eyes begin to water, you can't breathe. You beg them to stop, they just won't. You're getting so tired and dizzy from the lack of oxygen, your throat is closing, and you're choking on your vomit. All you want is for it to stop, and it seems like it never will. Finally, it ends, and that person leaves you choking on your vomit. The worst part, no one understands. When you tell people, they say, "What's the big deal? Don't you like that dessert?" This is the mindset of so many soldiers in the military when it comes to sexual assault. What's the big deal? It's just sex, right? Something most people enjoy. However, there's a big difference between enjoying something with someone you love, like, or desire, and having it forced on you against your will. Sexual assault isn't about sex. It's about controlling another person and overpowering them through sexual aggression. And it's a big deal, not only to the victims it harms, but the entire unit as a whole, because it destroys trust and morale among the unit members, degrades the very values our military was built on, and most of all, undermines unit readiness and capability to effectively complete the mission. AR 600-20, Section 8-4, Paragraph A, defines sexual assault as a crime of intentional sexual contact characterized by use of force, physical threat, or abuse of authority, or when the victim does not or cannot consent. Sexual assault includes rape, non-consensual sodomy, indecent assault, or attempt to commit these acts. Sexual assault can occur without regard to gender or spousal relationship or age of the victim. Therefore, it can happen to anyone, at any time, anywhere, including the soldiers right beside you. In an article by the New York Times on a report by DOD, there were a total of 3,230 reports of sexual assault in 2010. That's an 11% increase since 2009. In another article by CNN in 2008, it reported 4 out of 10 women in VA hospitals had been sexually assaulted while in the military. But I don't want you to get into the mindset that sexual assault is a crime against only women. Actually, in a 2006 survey of active duty troops, 6.8% of the women and 1.8% of the men said they had experienced unwanted sexual contact in the previous 12 months. That's 22,000 men and 14,000 women. So sexual assault is a huge problem, and this epidemic continues to grow each year, affecting thousands of soldiers and destroying morale and trust among the unit members. Like in the story of Navy Junior Officer Zulu, who after telling her command about her attack, her commanding officer restricted her to ship. She would have to have an escort while off the ship, be back by 9 o'clock, and was not allowed to participate in any functions. Also, he accused her of sleeping around with the men on her ship. So, he isolated her for 2 weeks before she even was allowed to get help. Zulu became depressed, suicidal, and now has a chronic medical condition that is unfit for ship duty. She chose an isolated duty station to avoid discharge from the Navy. She said that if she was ever assaulted again, she would not go to the Navy. And she no longer trusted Navy senior officers. Sadly, her story is only one of many. Soldiers like Zulu every day lose their hope in our military, their unit, and their battle buddies because of the military's flawed mindset. In a report by the Government Office of Accountability on 14 installations on sexual assault, 103 soldiers reported being sexually assaulted. Out of these, 52 did not even report it. Why? In another report by the American Forces, citing the top reasons soldiers did not report sexual assault, one of those reasons, the top one, was fear of repercussion, which was 81% females and 73% males. 61% females and 64% males feared their confidentiality, privacy, and trust would be violated. And 39% of the females and 36% of the males distrusted their leadership. What do you think that does for unit morale to know that soldiers can't even trust the military to protect or even help them in their most desperate times? Better yet, what are we as soldiers doing to help this problem? The Army has implemented many programs like the Sexual Assault and Prevention Program that help fight against this outrage. But it's not going to work without one important attribute, and that's us. When a sexual assault occurs, it's a direct violation of not just our Army core values and warrior ethos. It's an assault on the Army way of life, a life in which it is our duty to protect and take care of each other, no matter the time, place, or circumstance. As soldiers, it is our personal duty to intervene and prevent sexual assault and harassment. That's a quote straight from the I Am Strong website, and it's a quote that must be instilled in the hearts and minds of all soldiers. So how do we do this? Easy. By joining the I Am Strong campaign and intervening, acting, and motivating other soldiers to put an end to the mindset that sexual assault is no big deal. I know it doesn't seem easy. That's why we have the information right here in front of us. All of this tells us exactly what we need to do. And I know, for so long, we've been in the mindset that it's just a joke, right? Silly comments, heart saying like we're victims, no big deal. But what do you think that says to the real victims? That their unit doesn't care about what's happening to them? That it's just a joke and it's not really serious and nobody really cares, right? Is that the message we want to send? For so many of us, we don't understand sexual assault because it's not one of us. It's never happened to someone close to us, and so we don't get it. But I want to show of hands of anyone who's ever known someone who's been sexually assaulted. Actually, wow, that's a lot of hands. Actually, everyone should have raised their hands. Because everyone in this room knows who I am. And last year I was sexually assaulted. And it almost destroyed my life. I couldn't function. I was sad and depressed all the time. Couldn't work. Nobody wanted to be around me or even work with me because they thought I was crazy. And people who knew about it just looked at me differently. Nobody seemed to understand. And I was so depressed. And I thought I was a failure because I couldn't control what happened to my own body. But I did get better. And I'm doing a whole lot better. But I don't want you guys to take this confession as an act of sympathy or to get pity. Because it's not. It's my way of wanting you to understand how much damage sexual assault can really inflict on a person and a unit, and see how common it really is in our military. Sexual assault goes against everything our military was built on. And it not only affects the survivor, but the entire unit by destroying morale and trust in the unit, degrading the very values we live by, and undermining the readiness and capability of the unit to complete the mission. That's why it's not something to joke or laugh about. It's something that must be stopped at all costs. A saying from an anti-rape group goes, real men do not hurt women. But I tell you, the real soldiers do not hurt their battle buddies. More importantly, real soldiers do not let other people hurt their battle buddies. So my question to you today is, are you a real soldier? If so, right here, right now, on Camp Liberty, join the I Am Strong campaign. Make a choice and destroy the mindset that sexual assault is not a big deal, and let the world know that this crime will not be tolerated in our military. Thank you.